this is the Winnfield game.
You can hear that on the field. No, maybe not. Just press them again on the other side of the field. I guess. I don't know. Unless they put them all on the same side of the field.
Both teams come out with a water break. Tigers on offense. We have a quick score update. We have Morrisville on top of Buckeye, 20-13 in the middle of the third quarter. That's the closest scoring game that I saw. Big third down right here. Jackson gets the snap. He does back the pass. It's going to be a screen to the left side. It's complete. He tackled immediately. Number 20. I didn't see him tackle over. I think that was number 53, Trevor Gibbs. That was a rollout right, screen left. Trevor did a good job of sniffing it out. There was an actual Winnfield Tiger there to block him. Trevor did a good job of dipping his shoulder, getting around him, and making the tackle for no gain. So the senior linebacker makes a big play there and gives Winnfield a tough fourth down look. It's 4th down and 6 from the Panther 32-yard line. And it looks like the Tigers are going to take a timeout to talk about it. We'll take a quick timeout with them. Keep it 2 here. Panthers on top 16-7 with 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. This is Bunkie Panther Radio, Z95.9.
Louisiana pests can be a formidable opponent, but J&J Exterminating is ready to tackle them on their own turf. J&J Exterminating is Louisiana's largest independently owned pest control company, and we know what works in Louisiana's climate, from ants to termites and everything in between. J&J Exterminating will protect your home or business with 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Get the shield. J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
All right, welcome back, folks. We've got 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Bunkie on top, 16-7. We're looking at a 4th and about 7 to go. While we're waiting for the team to come out of the timeout, we do want to thank our sponsors. Farm Bureau for a pregame show. Sean Supercenter sponsors kickoffs, first down, Stormlighter LLC, touchdowns and postgame, Barn Motors, halftime show, and play of the game with Iceland scores and updates, Central Louisiana Insurance Consultant. Also, J&J Exterminating, Capital Signs, and Barry Lesh for GA. 4th and 7 for the Tigers. Over left to right. Empty backfield. Jackson in the shotgun. He's going to drop back, rolls to his right. He lets it go. He's going to hit a wide open number 8 on the sideline. He's going to have a first down for the Tigers. That was an empty backfield, so they had 5 receivers wide. Bunkie was in a cover 3. The outside receiver. He ran right past the first down marker, and it was a comeback route to the quarterback. Quarterback did a good job of getting him the football quick. And which was first down. Was over in third down. First time we've seen Tigers come out with an empty backfield. And they found the quarterback found the empty receiver there. Give the Tigers a first set of downs now in the red zone. Jackson under center. Double tight, double wing. Number 32, Griffin at fullback. Here's a snap. It's going to be a gift to number 1, and he's going to be in the backfield coming through. Is number 5, Hayden Sauseda, is going to make that play. And he must be coming in on a blitz because he got back there really quick. And this is the same thing that happened early in the game. Winnfield ran a buck sweep to the left side. And again, when a buck sweep was called, we had both guards pulling down the line of scrimmage. Bunkie did get penetration, which cut off the path of the guards, which let the linebackers at the point of attack make the tackle. That's going to be a loss of 2 for the Tigers. 2nd and 10 now. Ball at the 20-yard line. 4 receivers here for the Tigers. Jackson in the shotgun now. He's going to send Lawson in motion here from this side. High snap. Jackson drops back. He's going to have some pressure. He throws it up. 50-50 foul out of the back of the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete. That stops the clock at 4:08 here in the third quarter. That was a rollout, Johnson. We almost had a blindside sack right there. We had Ken Armstrong coming off the edge, and just another half second, and then he would have hit the quarterback without even seeing him. That would have been a good chance for a good sack. I saw him come out. They just bulldozing that offensive lineman, pushing him back into the quarterback. I think he made that quarterback get rid of it a little earlier than what he wanted to. 3rd down and 11 for the Tigers. They're doing the ball on the 20-yard line. Tigers come out with doubles to the top. 2 receivers here to the bottom. Number 8 runs out wide. Jackson rolls out to the left side now. He's going to let it go, and it's going to be incomplete, intended for number 3 near the sideline. That stops the clock at 3:02. Only took 6 seconds off the clock there. And this was the same play that they got the first down on earlier, but it was rolling out to the opposite side. That outside receiver ran the same about 8 and 10 yard comeback. He did throw it in the same spot, but our cornerback was cut under and was forced a high throw out of bounds. He had a small window, but it's hard for a quarterback to run to the left with your right hand and throw it across your body like that. Incomplete pass. Now the Tigers looking at 4th down and 11. Tight double formation. Here's Lawson in motion to the near side. Jackson in the shotgun. He's going to keep it himself on the right side. He's in pursuit. He's going to pitch it to Griffin, and Griffin's going to be cut down short of the 1st down. Again, that's Hayden Sauseda who cuts him down. They're going to turn the ball over. Bunkie takes over on offense inside the 20. And Tigers, they went 10 motion from left to right. They added another blocker on the right side, and they just ran a simple double option. We call it a speedo. Quarterback option. He decided to pitch number 32, which is normally the fullback. But again, but the Bunkie defense was right there and tackled the ball with no gain. Yeah, good pursuit there. It all happened to the short side of the field also. So, Bunkie defense had the sideline to help them out a little bit, push that in. So the Panther offense takes over. They've got 3 receivers flexed out to the right, 1 close here to the bottom. Rubichet in the shotgun. He's going to run it, pitch it out to Washington. Washington makes a move. He's going to get about 3 or 4 yards before he's pushed out of bounds. And that stops the clock. Gain of 4 for Washington. Stop the clock at 3:48. So 2 plays in a row, both teams ran the same style play to the same side of the field. Luckily, we got about 5 yards more than they did on the play. And when John gets the football, he does a good job of going north and south. And he's probably one of the quicker ball carriers we have on the team. So when he does get north and south, he gets there and hurt. Yeah, when he plants that foot, he's got a quick burst. 2nd and 6 for the Panthers, moving right to left. Rubichet in the shotgun. He's going to take him sitting off left the middle, make a cut. Makes the defender miss. He's going to get across the 25, near the 30. He's going to pick up the 1st down out of the Plumright LLC 1st down. That's something you don't see Graham doing much of. It looked like he was dancing around off the tackle that play, but he made 2 moves, 2 lateral moves, and then he cut it upfield and got a 1st down. Yeah, very shifty run there by Rubichet to give the Panthers another Plumright LLC 1st down. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line, moving right to left. 3:22 left to go in the 1st quarter. Bunkie on top, 16-7. Spread formation. Rubichet in the shotgun. Going to send Washington in motion to the near side. He's going to toss it up to him in the flat. Washington is going to make a spin move, make a guy move. The referee's going to call him out of bounds on that spin move, so he's going to be about 2 yards short of the 1st down. This was a flare out by John. He started out in the backfield, and it was just a quick pass to the left side. Both receivers cracked down, which means they blocked down on the man inside of him, which puts John, it put him one-on-one with cornerback. And look, as an offensive coordinator, if you're guaranteed to have one of your better playmakers out and open against the defensive cornerback, that you will take it every time. Yeah, we'll take that matchup. Winnfield wanted to get their number 1, Blake, more involved in the game. Looks like Bunkie wants to get their number 1, Washington, more involved in the game here in the 2nd half. Clock is stopped at 3:06. 2nd down and 4 for Bunkie. Bunkie's going to hand it up the middle. This is John Washington makes a move. He's the fastest guy on the field. He's across the 40, the 30, the 20. He's going to outrun everybody.
Yes. Touchdown Panthers.
That is a 62-yard scamper for a touchdown. A few things that went into this play. One thing different than we saw from last week is Coach Nick is spreading those receivers wide. And Winnfield is in a cover 4 defense, and they're playing those safeties over our number 2 receivers. So the wider he spreads them, the wider those safeties are, which opens up the middle of the field. And Jair had a big hole to run through, and he did. And the wider those safeties are, the longer it takes for them to get to Jair, and he just split the safeties right up the middle and scored. That touchdown, Bunkie goes up on top 22-7 as we await the extra point. There's a snap, good hold, good kick, it's beautiful, it is good. Bunkie's going to go on top 23-7 with 2:55 left to go in the 3rd quarter. And Johnson got a few score updates. We have right now in the 4th,
I sent those to
28.
to Chuck.
And in the 3rd quarter, we have Red River 39.
Aren't you proud of yourself, sweetie?
39 to 30.
You're welcome, Chuck.
39 to 30. Wow. We played Red River first district game of this season. It was week 3. And the Red Cross football team, they got a lot of skill players. They ended up beating 52-14. The offense gave them the ball a lot of times within their own 30. They took advantage of it. So, did Red River play Manny yet, you know?
No.
I'm not sure. And I just received another score update. In the beginning of the fourth quarter, we have Marksville over Buckeye, 27-13.
Good two-score game between Marksville and Buckeye. I want to give a shout-out to the voice of the Panthers, Mr. Ike Riche, listening to us in beautiful Bunkie, Louisiana, back home. Thanks for listening, Mr. Ike. We appreciate all you do for the Panthers. Here's the Sean 2% kickoff. It's going to be offside kick, but a flag is blown. We're going to be offside on an offside kick.
One thing I want to talk about, we've made 3 extra points tonight, and we made a game-winning field goal last week. And John Michael got a lot of credit for it, which he deserves it. But the 2 people that I really want to bring attention to is our deep snapper, Josh Sauseda, and our holder. And what a lot of people don't know, especially if they've never kicked before, is that it takes minimum those 3 people to make something happen. Because we need the snap, we need the hold, in about a second and a half in order for John Michael to even get the kickoff.
That's something that's very underappreciated. There's a lot of moving parts on an extra point attempt or a field goal. That backs the Panthers up 5 for the Sean 2% kickoff. Ball speed up at the 35 now. Ease back to do kicking. Kicking it off right to left. Here's a good deep kick near the
Corner kick.
Number 6 is going to take it in at the 15. Looking for his blocker. The Panthers kickoff team is in pursuit. They missed a few tackles. They finally bring him down across the 30, about the 34-yard line. So the Tiger offense takes over. And somebody is cramping there. I think that's Sauseda that has a cramp.
And it looks like Jacoby Capel. And we had another Panther on the tackle. Sauseda. Jacoby and Sauseda on the tackle.
It looks like he may be cramping. Yeah, he's getting stretched out right now. So we're going to have a injury timeout. We'll take a quick timeout again. Bunkie on top, 23-7. 2:47 left to go here in the third quarter. You listen to Bunkie Panther Radio, Z95.9.
Capital Signs and Awnings is a nationwide sign manufacturer and service provider based right here at home in Bunkie. There's no job too large or too small. So give us a call for all of your signage needs. Call 318-346-9898. Here's that number again, 318-346-9898. Capital Signs and Awnings of Bunkie.
Text
For
Chuck
all
and
your
tell
eye
him
care
that
needs,
he
it's
does a
LaPointe
damn
Eye Clinic in Bunkie.
better
Dr. Paul
job
LaPointe and his
than,
staff invite you in.
that
Glasses,
I'll text him
contact
after the
lenses,
game.
eye exams.
I'll
It's
finish
all in
this.
one place. Wherever
I'm a
you
critique.
live,
Don't worry, I'm
drive,
critiquing it.
call 346-7208 and set up your appointment. Dr. LaPointe accepts most insurance plans. Call 346-7208. Stay tuned after the game and find out who's going to be the LaPointe Eye Clinic player of the game. LaPointe Eye Clinic. They are simply the best.
All right, welcome back, folks. It looks like Jacoby Capel and Sauseda come to the sideline. Get a little break, but have to cramp it up. 2:47 to go here in the third quarter. 23-7. Panthers on top. Winnfield takes over on offense, first and 10 from their own 34. He was breaking motion. Jackson's going to take it himself on the far side, and he's going to be tripped up by Armstrong and finally brought down by the rest of the Panther defense for about a 1-yard gain. That could have been a loss there.
It could have been, and then Kesman, that's Kesman, if you ever watch him play football, he comes off the football hard, he almost came up the field too much, quarterback got him. But Kesman's really quick, and he changed direction, and he got a piece of the quarterback, which made him stumble, which reason why they that field in.
Second and 8 here for the Tigers. Ball at the 36-yard line, moving left to right. Double formation, 2 receivers to the top, 2 here to the bottom. Jackson in the shotgun. He's going to send Blake in motion. Near the line of scrimmage. He's going to keep it himself up the middle. He's running into some traffic. He could be brought down for a loss.
And Josh, and look, I think
fans.
with Winnfield,
Bunkie fans, they're on the Bunkie side doing the game. You hear the Bunkie fans yelling.
And in this last play, you had both guards pull left, but the quarterback went right. So I don't know if that was the best play in the backfield, or we just saw 2 false pulls trying to draw the defense away.
Credit Donovan Morton Hayes there on the tackle, combined with number 35, John Michael E.
Rouge's a cool little town.
Yeah.
So 3rd and 10 for the
That's where
Tigers.
Lestage lives.
Moving left to right.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't look him up?
Yeah, we were by the courthouse, I waved at him.
He is the clerk of court.
I know that, Craig.
He's going to whip it up the middle, and he's going to
So
get
I
a
didn't know
cue
you did it.
as he crosses the 35 near the 30.
You do pay attention more than I do.
38-yard line. And he's got about 6 yards to go. But
Did you know that he was the leader for an axe retreat?
Huh? Yeah, I knew he was. You told me that. Only because you told me just now that I wasn't going to remember.
Back there was a gift, and that was the right call. Look, he got good yardage on it, Josh. He got a good 5-yard gain on it. There wasn't bad yardage on that play call. It was just third down.
So here's going to be the punt. Good snap. Going to give that. Going to be a high punt near the Bunkie sideline. It's going to hit and roll sideways at about the 48-yard line. Very short punt, only about 12 yards net there.
And sometimes, it's going to sound crazy, but sometimes those are the best punts for the offense. Because it's a high punt, it's not far. And if your return team is not paying attention to the football, that could easily touch one of our defenders, and then once it touches one of us, on a punt it becomes a live ball, and anybody who recovers it gets the football. It becomes scary. I believe when we played it was red was our code word. Was that it? Yeah, that's correct. Red. That means run away.
Fire.
And now it's Peter. I think Coach Willard uses Peter.
32 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Bunkie on offense again. Washington motion to the far side. It's going to be a give to Patel. Just across the 50, but a flag is thrown near the ball carrier.
And it's thrown in the holding area.
We'll see if that's it. We'll wait on the official call.
Holding on the Panthers.
That's going to back the Panthers up 5. Sauseda still on the sideline stretching it out. And if the Panthers can maintain this lead, maybe score here on offense, you might want to, hold some of your starters out if you still have a sizable lead in the fourth quarter. It's only got 29 seconds left to go here in the third.
So again, I think for the least second, maybe third time tonight, we start off with first and long. Right now we're first and 20. So on this first down play, we need a good 7-8 yards to get us back in normal second down range.
You were saying the shotgun, looks like the Tigers are going to jump. No flag is thrown. He clearly jumped across the line. You say takes the snap, rolls out to the right side. He's under pressure. He doesn't have a receiver open. That's going to be the Tigers Howard. He's going to catch it on the far sideline.
Looks like he was out of bounds.
They're going to call him out of bounds. He was out of bounds when he caught the ball. He actually caught off his fellow receiver there. Ian Montalvo on the sideline.
Whenever they drop back, he was under pressure, and Graham made a really good throw off
Ian
Montalvo.
Montalvo.
It was a good high throw
It is good.
to the Tigers, and the Tigers had to go up and meet the ball at his highest point, and he did a good job
Good football
coming down
player
with it.
anyway.
He always looked like in the back when he was little, he
Let's
reminded me
stop the clock
of
with 21 seconds left to go. Bunkie looking at a 2nd and 20 from their own 40-yard line, moving right to left. We were showing the shotgun again, 3 receivers, sends Washington motion to the far side, and the Tigers jumped on. He almost touched the quarterback. So the Panthers going to get a 3-5 there as they move the ball from the 40 to the 45-yard line. Makes it, I wouldn't say a manageable second down, but 2nd and 15 is a little better than 2nd and 20.
So one thing Winnfield did make an adjustment on defense is they're in a 4-man front, which they did, but they took, instead of having a 2-high safety, they brought 1 safety in the box, which we've been having some success running the football in the middle, so they're trying to stop that.
Let me show Josh back, rolls out to his right. It's going to be a screen hit to the back side. Jacoby's report. On the 35, he's across the 50, the 40. He's going to really get the defender at the 30. Thanks for a couple more yards. That's going to be a 25-yard pickup. You can show us to prepare on the screen. Great play call there.
Guys, look, and I really want to highlight 2 people. It's number 53, which is Trevor Gio, and number 55, which is Colin Gallon, that is correct. It was a rollout to the right and a screen back to Jacoby, and I'm sorry, that was 56. 56 Donovan. It was 2 seniors, that's right, Trevor and Donovan. They did a really good job of getting out in front of the screen back, and we had 2 Panthers on 2 Winnfield defenders. They did a great job of putting the helmet on a helmet. All they had to do was shield them, and they did that. And Jacoby followed his block, which got us for a big game.
That's 25-yard, unofficial, 25-yard pickup there for Jacoby Capel gives the Panthers a fresh set of downs as they get it across midfield. Inside the 30, we'll call it the 28-yard line now in Tiger territory, moving right to left. Big play there by the Panthers. And we had looked like we had an injury timeout. We got 9 seconds left to go here in the third quarter.
Well, plays like that are always good, but in this particular situation, we really needed it. Remember, we started with 1st and 20 to start the drive. And we needed a play like this to get us out of that bind, and now we're back 1st and 10 on the Winnfield 28-yard line.
That's going to be the last play of the third quarter. We'll take a quick break. Panthers on top 23-7, but they have a fresh set of downs, looking to score again. Keep it 2 here on Bunkie Panther Radio, Z95.9.
Farm Bureau proudly supports our Bunkie Panthers. Hey, this is Josh Sauseda, your local Farm Bureau agent. If you're looking for great rates, fast claims, and real service, give me a call at 318-201-0577. Join our family so we can take care of yours.
Great rates, fast claims, real service, auto, home, and life. Josh Sauseda, Farm Bureau.
This is Barry Lesh, candidate for district attorney. We are days away from electing a new district attorney. It's time for Vols to make a big change and head into a new future. Please vote for me, Barry Lesh, number 72, on Tuesday, November 3rd. Polls open at 6 a.m. and will remain open through 8 p.m. that evening. Together, we can fix it.
Paid for by the Barry Lesh for DA campaign.
Welcome back, folks. After 3 quarters of play, the Panthers on top 23-7.
Well, Josh, with 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, Winnfield could be back in the game.
I don't know how you did that math. I guess that's why you're the principal of Bunkie High. That's some good math right there.
So it's really important for the Bunkie Panthers to come out and not let up due to the score, to keep driving, keep playing hard, and then try to put another 7 points on the board.
He was showing the shotgun, drops back to pass. He's going to let it go deep. And it is the Tiger Towers is going to be incomplete. There, descending the pass was number 6 here towards the near sideline. That stopped the clock at 11:54.
So that was a deep right on the outside by the Tiger Howard, and Grant threw the ball, but what it did is it turned into a jump ball. And it went through both their hands and went out of bounds, luckily for us.
Yeah, it looked like both the defender and the receiver, Howard, weren't too aggressive on that play. So I don't know if they just started going out of bounds immediately or...
They both jumped too soon, it looked like.
So 2nd and 10, Panthers inside the 30, we'll call it 29, moving left to right. Jacoby Capel at running back, 3 receivers to the top. Here's Washington in motion. It's going to be a fake to Capel. It's going to be a toss out to Washington. A flag is thrown as Washington gets about 6 yards. And I didn't see any blockers in that area. We'll see what the flag is.
Usually when they hold it on one of the end men on the line. Usually when that sideline judge throws the flag on the one place to the outside, it's usually holding on one of the edge guys.
And it is holding on the Panthers. That's going to back them up 10. Playing from behind the 6 again. Last time they had 20 to go. They picked up 25 with Capel on a screen play. Let's see if we can do it again. See if we can do it again. That's going to mark the ball right at the 40, moving left to right. Clock continues to run. 11:40 still to go in the fourth quarter. Again, Bunkie on top 23-7.
It looks like Winnfield's in the same defense. They have 3 deep. They brought that extra safety down in the box. We have 3 linemen, 3 linebackers. I'm sorry, 4 linemen.
It's going to be a give to Capel at the middle of this time, and he's going to pick up about 3 as he crosses the 40 to about the 43-yard line.
It was just a dive up the middle out of gun with Graham faking the swing pass to Washington after he handed the ball off.
That's Capel's first carry of the game, giving Sauseda a blow. Jacoby Capel is a senior. He was out a couple weeks, came back last week, and now he's getting some work here at fullback on offense.
And it looks like Winnfield just made a substitution. They brought in another defensive back and took out a defensive lineman. Now we have 4 deep. Winnfield's playing with that 4 deep look.
3rd and 18 for the Panthers.
With 3-3 stack defense.
Show rolls out to near side. He's under pressure, gets away from the defender. He reverses field. He's now on the far side of the field, looking to throw. He does, and it's going to be tipped and incomplete. Intended receiver was Ian Montalvo near the 5-yard line.
Graham did a really good job of extending the play when he had pressure in his face. He rolled out left. He threw the ball up, hoping somebody could make the play, but Winnfield was there and hit the ball away.
He did have some running room. The ball was about 5-6 yards in front of him, but he knew that wasn't going to get the first down, so he just tried to get the first down. Luckily, that wasn't intercepted.
I'm going to be honest with you, Josh. It's fourth down, so if he had intercepted that pass with it out on the 10-yard line, that would have been just as good as the punt.
Yeah, you're right. It's fourth down now. It looks like Bunkie covered up and maybe going for it. This is kind of no man's land. Too far for a field goal, kind of too close for a punt.
Correct. But you know, look, Graham does punt the football.
Throwing the ball, run the clock out, Nick. What are you doing?
Back up more and punt the ball out.
He knows what he's doing there.
He does know what he's doing
Inside the
legally.
5, and it's going to roll into the end zone. It's going to be a touchback. So
I don't know what he's doing, but he knows what he's doing.
over on the 20, moving right to left now. We've got 10:25. There to go. We've got a fourth quarter.
We've got a net 20 yards. Punted from the 40, and we're going to bring it out to the 20 due to a touchback.
We'll think that 20 yards can make a difference between scoring and no scoring, you know. But besides the first drive, Panthers gave up a 70-yard, 9-play drive for a touchdown. The opening drive was still on game. Haven't given up a point yet.
No.
They've really stepped up, made some adjustments. Let's see if they can continue to do it here in the fourth quarter. So I see the check back in at linebacker. Bunkie jumped on at safety. Ian Montalvo, cornerback. Trevor Muir covering a receiver in the slot. That's Lawson in motion. Jackson's going to take it himself up the middle. He does have a little pretty spin off the tackler, and even if he hit big, that's Bunkie Jumper coming from the safety position to lay the wood, and Jackson is down.
So the Panthers defense, even though they are split wide, they're in a shotgun formation. Panthers defense is staying with a 5-man front, 1 linebacker, 2 outside backers, and 3 deep. And the reason why we're doing that is Winnfield is getting different formations that we haven't seen in the last few weeks, but they're still running the same plays. And that was just a quarterback. So the halfback came up, kicked out the defensive end, and the backside guard pulled around. Quarterback did a good job of breaking the tackle right at the line of scrimmage, but right when he picked his head up, Beckett was ahead of safe.
He's limping, Chuck.
He hit him hard.
Yeah, Jackson's limping. I have to pick up a 5, 2nd and 5 for the Tigers. Lawson in motion to the far side of the field. Jackson's going to take it himself again. He pitches it to Griffin, and that's the room, puts his head down, and he may have the first down. He's going to be very close to it at about the 30.
That was a speedo. It's a play that we run often, and he did a good job pitching the football, number 7 to Winnfield. And I believe it was number 32, that's Griffin. 32 received the pitch and came it up almost.
Jackson's coming off the field. He's hurt, Chuck. They replaced him. Lawson's not quarterback. Now, that's number 24 that checked in for the Tigers at quarterback. Chuck's going to find him on the roster. Now Lawson stepped in at quarterback, the Wildcat formation for the Tigers, and pitched straight to Lawson, and he's going to be tackled immediately behind the line, and that's the one and only number 50. That's a good number. That is Desmond Armstrong.
So number 24 is a junior. That's Trayvon Nichols, who came in at quarterback before they shifted.
And so that gives the Tigers a 4th down, 4th and short. It's about 4th and 3 to go, but they're deep in their territory. They might want to punt here.
And there was a flag on the play, but it was just a sideline warning on the Bunkie coaches. And basically what that is when our coaches get excited, like most coaches do, they do step a couple of feet on the field. And they'll usually be warned a few times by the sideline judge, and I guess he had it up and threw an official warning.
Looks like the Tigers are getting ready to punt. You know, we do have a lot of former Bunkie players on the Bunkie coaching staff, and they just get into the game. We got 3-time All-State defensive MVP Jordan Jackson right here on the sideline, coaching DBs. We got Jamel. It's a big punt, and Lawson's going to take it. He's going to have the first down. He's got a lot of room. Bunkie defense in pursuit. He's finally going to be brought down across the 30 by Latarvik Howard. That is going to be a 48-yard pickup on the fake punt. Deep in your territory, that gives you a little life there.
And our return man, Latarvik Howard, he came up and then he played it real safe and real soft, which was the right play by him, but it did allow the number 22 who was running the football to get a pretty big game.
30 down for the Tigers. Yeah, that's the toughest tackle to make one-on-one in space.
It is.
He was all by himself with Tiger Howard against Lawson. He made the tackle to save the touchdown.
And as a defender, you have to remember, you don't have to look pretty. It doesn't have to look good. You just have to stop him from scoring, and that's what he did.
So that first part's going to get the Tigers offense in Bunkie defense territory. Lawson drops back the pass. He's under pressure. He's finally going to be brought down at the 40. That is Donovan, Martin Hayes, and Armstrong.
Looks like we had 4 Panthers.
Along with number 54, that's Tyson Redmond, who's getting up slow, but he was in on the sack also.
And it looked like Winnfield, that was a one route pass, which was a guy running down the hash. It was just a deep streak, like kind of right down the middle of the field.
Chuck, that's a loss of 15 there. Back the ball up around the 39-yard line. First down marker is at the 15. We're moving right to left. Tigers have a second and 20, we'll call it 25 to go.
And this almost forces you to throw the football if you can bust a big run.
Timeout taken by the Panther defense. We'll take a quick timeout. Panthers on top 23-7 with 7 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. You're listening to Bunkie Panther Radio on Z95.9.
If you want to pay more, that's your business. You want to pay less, that's our business.
Real value, real savings. Find it at bondvalue.com.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep.
11 makes, 98 models, 5 convenient locations. One great deal.
Bond value.
Now that's a Bond Value.
You're listening to the mighty Bunkie Panther Radio Network across the universe and on your radio at KCLG, Mansura, Louisiana, Z95.9.
Hi, welcome back, Panther fans. We've got 7 minutes left to go here in this football game. Panthers on top 23-7. Bunkie just took a timeout. Both teams get back on the field. The Tigers are looking at a second and 25 from the Panthers 39-yard line, moving right to left. Quarterback now is number 24. He's in the shotgun formation. That's 32. Griffin in the shotgun. He goes back. He passes it. It's going to be intercepted by Ian Montalvo. That's his second interception of the football game inside the 10 where the Panther offense will take over.
And Bunkie still in the cover 3 defense, and Ian's job in a cover 3 defense is he has deep thirds on the sideline part of the field, which is the Bunkie sideline. Quarterback dropped back. He was under pressure, so he hit the ball in the air, and he did overthrow him. Ian was doing a good job of staying deeper than the receiver, and he was going to intercept the football.
You know, something that affected that drive was Jackson, the original quarterback, came out of the game, so they shuffled a few players, running backs in there at quarterback, but probably aren't used to throwing the ball at practice or in game situations, and that's what happened. Interception by the Panther defense. Also takes over inside the 10. We'll call it the 8 moving left to right. Usually at the center. He's to give the Capel up the middle. He's going to get across the 10 to about the 11-yard line where he picks up about 4 yards.
And Winnfield did a 4-3 defense with 4 linemen, 3 linebackers, and 4 defensive backs. And again, the corners are playing deep, so it's going to be there in a cover 4 look. And that was a dive by Jacoby. And Jacoby hadn't carried the ball much. He was out for 2 weeks early in the season, but he's a tough runner, and he fell forward and got a good gain of 4 on the play.
Once he comes out with doubles to each side, running back is Capel. Ricochet under center. He's going to let this play clock run down. They're going to try to use as much clock on offense as possible right now. Play clock at 5. Ricochet snaps. He's going to keep it himself on the option, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage where he's tackled by number 24 and looks like 18. Number 13 for the Winnfield Tigers, and that's going to be our water break. We're going to take a quick water break with them. 23-7, Panthers on top. 6 minutes to go here in the football game. This is Z95.9.
Louisiana pests can be a formidable opponent, but J&J Exterminating is ready to tackle them on their own turf. J&J Exterminating is Louisiana's largest independently owned pest control company, and we know what works in Louisiana's climate, from ants to termites and everything in between. J&J Exterminating will protect your home or business with 100% 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Get the Shield.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Capital Signs and Awnings is a nationwide sign manufacturer and service provider based right here at home in Bunkie. There's no job too large or too small. So give us a call for all of your signage needs. Call 318-346-9898. Here's that number again. 318-346-9898. Capital Signs and Awnings of Bunkie.
Third down and 5 for the Panther offense, moving left to right. Ball up to 12 on their own 12-yard line. Ricochet in the shotgun. Takes the snap, drops back. It's going to be a quick toss to the far side. Darwin Washington has the first down. Cuts it out towards the far sideline and finally brought down about 25. First down, Panthers.
Good job in the Winnfield defense. So they were still in a 4-3 cover 4 look, and they walked those two safeties up a little bit higher than normal on the front receivers. And so that's telling me they're playing some type of man defense. And when you look at the backers, all three linebackers blitzed on that play. And Coach Nick ran a quick screen from the top, which is a great play call with a three linebacker blitz. And then it was Jaron on the safety, and Jaron made a play and got the first down.
He stays in bounds, keeps the clock moving. We're approaching 5 minutes here in the fourth quarter. Ricochet talking to his offense. He gets in the center. It's going to be a quarterback sneak up the middle, and whistles are blown. It's going to be a false start. I didn't see that. The flags are thrown, false start. That may have been an improvised play, you think?
Well, you're looking in a 4-man front, and you're playing a team that runs here. You're going to widen those defensive tackles out. Because if you don't, you're going to create a natural hole to run that deer. And how to stop them from widening those defensive tackles out is you run that quarterback sneak.
Keep them honest in the middle.
Correct, and that's why it's open.
That backs them up 5, so that's a 20-yard line. Moving left to right, first and 15 now for the Panthers. They come out with a tight bunch formation here to the near side. Jacoby Capel, running back on Ricochet's left side. It's going to be a gift to Jacoby Capel at the middle. He's going to go across to 21, and that's where he'll be tackled out of the 21. 1-yard gain. Keep the clock moving. We're under 4:45. Here we go with the fourth quarter. Second and 14 for the Panthers.
And you know, right now, Winnfield down a few scores, a 4 minutes, 36 seconds running clock right now. And they're blitzing linebackers, and we ran up the middle, there's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, they're just trying to cause some havoc, maybe cause a turnover, give themselves a chance. So the clock is not on their side right now. Right at 4:20 to go. Ricochet in the shotgun, 2 backs, 1 to each side. 2 receivers front here to the near side, 1 to the top. Sends Washington in motion here to the near side, and flags are thrown. It looks like this one's going to go against Winnfield. That's going to give the Panthers their 5 yards back, and the Panthers are going to huddle up. After that ball's placed, the clock should start again.
So now it's 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 9 instead of 2nd and 14, and makes the play call a little bit easier on Coach Nick.
Under 4 minutes here to go in this ballgame. Again, the Panthers on top 23-7. Same formation, shotgun, 2 backs to each side of Ricochet. Washington in motion again here to the near side. He rolls out to the near side. He's going to pass it. It's going to be complete to Xavier Wells. That's going to be a first down. And he catches it right at the 36-yard line. That's a plumb right first down.
And again, that was a rollout right, a flood concept. Xavier was running that deep out for about 10 yards, and that's about how far he was running it. He completed it right when he caught the football. That cornerback came up and hit it. That was a good job by Xavier of holding on to the football. Yeah,
that was just a good route. Good throw by Ricochet and right in the numbers. They look real comfortable running that play.
They did. Graham's doing a really good job of throwing the ball on the run for the last 2 weeks.
Game clock approaching 3 minutes. First and 10 for the Panthers from their own 35. It's going to be a toss to Washington to the far side. He's trying to juke out the players. He does. He's going to have the first down as he crosses midfield, and he's going to go out of bounds, and that's going to stop the clock at about the 45. That's going to be another first down for the Panthers, and they're moving in the right direction. And if all goes well as planned, they could probably end this game more often.
Right, and that was a really safe play call by Coach Nick. It was a jet sweep to the left. He put Jaron Williams did, instead of handing the ball off and maybe risking a fumble, he tossed it. It was a forward toss, so it was a forward pass. So that will actually go down in the book as a forward pass and a catch on Washington.
And even if he fumbles that, it's an incomplete pass. 1st and 10 for the Panthers, and Coach Nick's going to take a timeout on offense. So that's going to stop the clock with 3:04 here to go in the 4th quarter. Again, the Panthers on top 23-7. 1st and 10, ball just in tighter territory. What do you think Coach Nick's telling his players in the huddle right now?
He's telling them to stay focused, do your job, and protect the football. The last thing that we need right now is to get behind the chains again with a pre-snap penalty. When you get the ball protected, get your yardage, but do not be careless with the football. If you're in a pile, it's okay to go down right now, because the most important thing is keeping the clock running and holding on to that football.
And Chuck, I see some new jerseys walking out, jogging out on the field for the Panther offense. I see number 8 there. That is Kyle Johnson. He's actually an 8th grader.
He's an 8th grader.
He's out on the field now. He's going to line up in the slot. Ricochet's still in the shotgun. Xavier Wells now running back. Ricochet takes the snap. It's going to be give the Wells up the middle. He's got a quick burst. He's going to get across the 40, have a first down, and go down about the 30-yard line. His first carry goes for 16 yards.
So this was a play we haven't run much. That was just an inside trap. And we haven't run that much this year at all. This may have been the first time we've run it. He was out the gun, left guard pull, kicked out the inside piece of tackle, and Xavier Wells was right up the middle.
Well, that play must have been drawn up just for Wells, because that's his first carry of the ball game. Goes to 15. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Ball right on the 30-yard line in Tiger territory. Under 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. So at 2:40 and ticking. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers here near the numbers. Low snap, Ricochet's going to hand it off again to Wells. He's got to run up the middle, cooking to the outside. He's juking some defenders, probably got down from behind. After another first down, 11-yard pickup.
And that was the same exact play. Coach Nick said it worked so well the first time, he was going to run it again. And one thing about Coach Nick, if a play is working, he will continue to run it until they stop it.
So could we possibly see it 3 times in a row?
Very possible.
And the best thing about that keeps the clock moving, gives you the best chance to close out this football game.
Correct.
Barring any crazy miracle, the Panthers are going to win this football game. Hopefully they can do it on offense.
Again, the most important thing right now is to protect the football. It is okay to take a loss.
Same exact formation, Wells in the backfield. This time he goes in motion to the far side. Ricochet's got to keep it himself up the middle. He's going to fight for a few yards across the 20, across the 15 rather, so about the 14-yard line, pick up a 2 for Ricochet.
So just like we just predicted, different backfield motion. This time Xavier Wells spread out to the left, offensive lineman blocked it the same exact way, and it was a quarterback trap right up the middle.
Still keeps the clock moving. A minute 30 here to go in the 4th quarter. Again, Bunkie leads 23-7. 2nd and we'll call it 7 from the 15-yard line, moving left to right. 1 receiver here to the bottom, that's Armstrong. 2 receivers to the top. Ricochet, shotgun formation. Here's Capella in motion to the far side. It's going to be give up the middle to Xavier Wells, and he's going to be in for the touchdown. That's going to be a Vaughn Motors touchdown. Xavier Wells punches it in from 14 yards out.
And I think Xavier ran off the field faster than he ran to score a touchdown. He's really excited. That was a zone play. Graham read the defensive end. Again, defensive end stood still. He handed up to Xavier Wells. Xavier cut back across the ground, and he scored a touchdown. A good job by Xavier of reading the defense, finding the hole and scoring.
29-7 before the extra point with a minute and 10 here to go in this football game. There's a snap, great hold. The kick is up, and it may have been wide left, and it is. He reached his first miss.
We jinxed him.
You jinxed him.
I'm sorry, John.
We've been perfect on extra points up until just now. But luckily it wasn't a game-winning extra point. As the Panthers are on top now, 29-7. Real interesting fact here, Chuck. Xavier Wells has 3 carries on the night for 3 carries on the night, 40 yards and a touchdown.
Pretty good.
And all his carries came in about 50 seconds there on that line of drive.
So I think it's safe to say that we're going to see Jaden carry the football a few more times in the next few weeks.
I think so. Also, I think he's a good back to be mixed in there. He's very quick and has a very good acceleration, as you can tell.
And the one thing I want to bring attention to, too, and we haven't mentioned it all night, and I'm going to apologize for that as a former offensive lineman myself. We scored 29 points tonight, and it's a lot of that, most of that is contributed to our offensive line. Coach Nick does a good job of rotating linemen in and out, but here's just a few of them. We have number 53, Trevor Gill, number 54, Tyson Levin. We have number 59, Leon Silverand. We have 62, Nick Bain. 76, Jalen Jenkins plays some.
Here's the kickoff taken in by number 3, about the 15. He gets a good burst, finally stood up at about the 35, about the kickoff team.
And number 77, Brunson Davis.
Yeah, the former offensive lineman. I played very little as a backup. We were really deep back then, you know, and we didn't have too many people go both ways, just a handful, not like they do now, but offensive linemen are so important. And a lot of these guys that you mentioned go both ways.
They do. They go both ways.
So kudos to them for doing their job and making some big holes. We did most of our damage on the ground. And, you know, I don't care how good a running back is. You're not going to get any going unless you have people dropping.
That is correct. And your average fan will notice an offensive lineman whenever they mess up, whenever the quarterback gets sacked, whenever the running back is tackling in the backfield.
Tigers take over an offense. Jackson, back in quarterback, he's going to let it go. He's going to throw it high, so the incomplete hit from this side to the receiver number 4. Stop the clock at 55 seconds left to go. Again, Panthers are leading 29-7. Sauseda checks out. It looks like he's cramping and he's not going to be able to finish the game.
We have a few
new jerseys there. Getting that time in, we got Caleb Gallion there.
Number 30, we have number 64, Morgan Smith.
Tigers looking at a 2nd and 10. Here's a snap. It's going to be a give up. Number 1, Blake here on the near side, and he's going to be taken down. I think that was
Jacoby Capel. And now we're going to jet motion to the side of the jet sweep. So Jacoby was being blocked, and he did a good job of getting extension on that receiver. And then whenever the jet sweep came to him, he got off the block and made the tackle.
So no huddle offense. We're under 30 seconds here to go. And the Tigers come out with empty backfield. Jackson in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap. He rolls out to his far side. He's looking to throw. He does. He launches it. It's up in the air, and it's going to be hit and incomplete. There defending the pass is number 24 on Pilot Tower. Stops the clock at 15 seconds.
When we're still in a cover 3, the Tigers were staying back like he was supposed to. It was a high pass. The receiver really never had a chance at it. It was even a little bit out of the reach for the Tigers.
Good job there, just by batting it down. Stopping the clock, make them try it again. Again, the Tigers are inside their own 40. We've got 14 seconds left to go. It's 4th down. This is going to be their last play on offense. And if they don't get a 1st down, here's Jackson. He drops back. He does pass it. It's going to be through the hands of number 4. Incomplete pass. Turnover on down. The Panther offense is going to take over right at the 35-yard line. And I'm thinking you just go in victory formation and take this one out. The best formation there is in football, Chuck.
Yeah, you must hate the practice because you know the game.
9 seconds left to go in this football game. Again, the Panthers are winning 29-7.
Well, I think what's really important about this win is what we talked about before the game, Josh, is the momentum it's going to bring into homecoming week next week. And I'm looking forward to that school spirit next week, the homecoming week throughout the week. And then on Friday night when we host the Mustangs at home.
Yeah. Well, next week, homecoming week at Bunkie, as we host the Wolves Mustangs. The Panthers are in victory formation. Ruby Shade's going to back up and take a knee, and that's going to do it here in Winnfield as the Panthers win 29-7 on the road. Keep it tuned here for the Vaughn Motors post-game show. Chuck and I will be back to recap a little bit of the game and select our point I-credit player of the game. Again, the Panthers win here on the road in Winnfield, 29-7. We're listening to Bunkie Panther Radio on Z95.9.
If you wanna pay more, that's your business. You wanna pay less, that's our business.
pests can be a formidable opponent, but J&J Exterminating is ready to tackle them on their own turf. J&J Exterminating is Louisiana's largest independently owned pest control company, and we know what works in Louisiana's climate, from ants to termites and everything in between. J&J Exterminating will protect your home or business with 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Get the shield.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
For all your eye care needs, it's LaPointe Eye Clinic in Bunkie. Dr. Paul LaPointe and his staff invite you in. Glasses, contact lenses, eye exams. It's all in one place. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive. Call 346-7208 and set up your appointment. Dr. LaPointe accepts most insurance plans. Call 346-7208. Stay tuned after the game and find out who's going to be the LaPointe Eye Clinic player of the game. LaPointe Eye Clinic. They are simply the best.
If you wanna pay more, that's your business. You wanna pay less, that's our business.
Real value, real savings. Find it at bondvalue.com.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep.
11 makes, 98 models, 5 convenient locations. One great deal. Now that's a Bond Value.
All right, welcome back, folks. Thanks for keeping it tuned here on Bunkie Panther Radio. This is the Vaughn Motors post-game show. Josh Sauseda and Chuck Norman here, broadcasting live. In the stands here, Ernie, that Hamburg, that's well, I just call it Tiger Field. I'm trying to read the signs by and to good. Panthers win this football game 29-7. And Chuck, starting out, Panthers won the toss. Start the game, they deferred, they kick it off to Winnfield. Winnfield starts on their own 30-yard line and just puts together a perfect drive. Comes down, scores, takes 5 minutes off the clock, and that was all she wrote as far as their offense goes.
That's it. And then for the rest of that first half, our defense shut Winnfield down, put our offense in a lot of good positions, good field positions. From the second half, Winfield's third drive, they drove the ball again down the field, but our Panther defense stood up and stopped them for a red zone stop, prevented a score. And not only did we hold them to just one touchdown and shut them out for most of the game yardage-wise, but we also scored 2 points on defense.
Yeah, Graham Ricochet played a great game tonight. He had 14 completions for nearly 100 yards. Had a rushing TD. Xavier Burns came in late in the game to finish it off. Had a couple good runs, scored a TD. Jordan Washington scored a 62-yard touchdown.
Ian Montalvo had 2 interceptions.
Ian Montalvo had 2 interceptions. Defense had a safety to tack on 2 more points. Graham really did spread the ball around great tonight. I'm counting right here 6 receivers. He completed the ball. That's almost Drew Brees-ish type, you know. Spreading the ball around. You don't have just one guy you lock onto, so he spread it around real good tonight. You know, Winnfield, like I said, besides that first drive, they pretty much couldn't get anything going. And then you discussed it during the break. The LaPointe Eye Clinic halftime, LaPointe Eye Clinic player of the game is
the Panther defense, the entire defense. And they did a great job for the entire game. Again, like we said, the Tigers had a good drive. That first drive scored a touchdown, but after that, Coach Williams' defense did a great job of playing assignment football, which is really important when you play against the DFT, and they shut them down. We created 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions. We had 1 or 2 fumble recoveries, and then we also scored 2 points on defense. So not only did we hold them to 1 touchdown, but we scored 2 points. So I think it was a clear-cut, easy call that our Panthers defense was the point I played in Coach Game Players game.
That's right, and they did. That's the second week in a row they performed well, and just kudos to them, and also to the coaching staff. All the coaches coach defense at some point. You know, you don't just have a defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator. They all coach both sides of the ball. So kudos to the coaching staff, especially Coach Williams, who is the defensive coordinator, making those adjustments that he had to make after the first drive and shutting down the Tiger offense. And offense did what they needed to do, scored a couple touchdowns, and they won the football game 29-7. Next week, big week for you.
It is.
In the school.
It is big week for homecoming, so we have a couple of then on Friday night, the Mustangs, the Hawks Mustangs, they travel to Bunkie, the short trip to Bunkie. It's going to be a very good game. The Vols is a very good team. They did lose to Manny tonight, so they're coming in 3-1. Manny's a really good football team. And then we're going to have to stay focused through homecoming. And we can look at the coach. That's always the biggest concern. Distractions, trying to keep your kids focused. The Vols is always, anytime you play in a pair of school, it's always a big rival, and our kids always get really hyped. So, but we got to focus in practice this week. Focus on the Vols. They do a few things just like Winnfield does, but they do them really, really well. And then they go for it on 4th down every time, but they do not punt, they kick onside kicks. So we will have to play our A game next week in order to be involved. They beat us probably the last 6 to 8 years, so they have our number. But I think next week's a good week. We're on a 2-game winning streak. We're going in with momentum. I think it should be really easy for the boys to stay focused and to be able to play this week.
Very big game here for the Panthers to win. They get above 500, now 3-2 on the season, and 2-1 in district. Heading into your homecoming, I mean, that just gives you a boatload of confidence. Knowing that your defense is just capable of pitching shutouts and holding other offense. I mean, the listeners can't see what we saw here tonight. Winnfield was bigger on the line on both sides of the line all night.
They were, and it's been like that for the last few years. And I have to give our coaching staff and our Panther players credit. And every year for the last several years when we played Winnfield, they're bigger than us, but we always come out and we play harder. And it was evident we did that tonight. And when you look at the score, it's 29-7. We forced Winnfield to get out of what they do often, to spread the ball out, throw the ball more. And that's why we got 2 interceptions. And our Panther offense capitalized on every mistake that the Winnfield offense made. And we put points on the board. It was a whole team effort, which is why it was 29-7.
Now I think it's going to be the same story next week against the Vols. They run a similar offense, real tight, double wing tosses, but they do it very well.
They do it very well.
And they are big up front. I believe they've got a kid, he's a sophomore, who's like 6'7", 300 pounds, and he's just the biggest. They've got a couple bigger guys, but it may be the same story on the field. Hopefully we get the same result with throwing them down, get them out of what they do normally, offensively.
And that's very hard to do because what they do real well. And just like we had to play assignment football tonight, we're going to have to play assignment football next week. And any time that we get caught sleeping, our Royals will take advantage of that, and they can easily put a lot of points on the board.
So another big district matchup next week, district game and homecoming. It's going to be a big one. And most importantly, it's going to be homecoming at home. We've got 2 road wins in a row that puts Bunkie at 3-2. Again, Bunkie wins this one on the road, 29-7 over Winnfield. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Thank you for tuning in to the Vaughn Motors First Game Show. Again, the point iconic player of the game was the Bunkie defense and the defensive coaches. We're signing off. I'm Josh Sauseda for Chuck Norman. Everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Be safe and God bless.
You've been listening to Bunkie High School Football, brought to you by the Bunkie Panther Club. Join us next time when once again your mighty Bunkie Panthers will be on the air, brought to you by the Bunkie Panther Club. Thank you for listening and have a safe weekend. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you as a live presentation on Z95.9 KZLG.
With an extra kick of real ginger taste that would blow the tennis balls off your grandma's wall. New Canada Dry Bold Ginger, not your grandma's ginger ale.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged too well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show who's the cheesiest? I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach!
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
At Amica, we believe in life's extraordinary experiences. We are an insurance company that delivers an experience that meets the only standards higher than ours. Yours. Experience Amica. Auto, home, and life insurance.
For $5, you could upgrade to the Sparkly Sprinkle Pack on Cupcake Conquest. Or you could upgrade to all this. 2 crunchy tacos and a medium drink. Plus, the beefy cheesy layers of the $5 Grande Stacker Box. Only at Taco Bell.
Big Ten was grand fun the first weekend of its season, and this game has been a ride as well. Maryland was up 14, now they're down 10, and it's a 51-yard field goal attempt for Joseph Petrino. It would be his career long by 11, and talking to Quint during the break, Petrino made from 53 during warm-ups, and this one comes on a windless night in College Park with 7:12 to go to make it a one-score game after a sack that lost 16 yards. Petrino on the way. It is good.
Never a doubt. Got up in a hurry and certainly had plenty of distance. Excellent hold. And there was no doubt.
Racing Dave Warner. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Mom! Yeah? I found. Okay, there's bandages in the cabinet. I'm bleeding. Grab 2.
Sheba, what cats want?
The Kit Kat you love. With a minty flavored dark chocolate delicious twist. Kit Kat Duos mint and dark chocolate. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
We live in uncertain times. However, there is one thing you can be certain of. The men and women of the United States Postal Service. We are here to deliver your cards, packages, and prescriptions. And also deliver the peace of mind knowing that what's important to you, like your ballot, is on its way. Every day, all across America, we deliver for you. And we always will.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services. Attention former Boy Scouts. If you were a victim of sexual abuse by an adult member of the Boy Scouts of America, the time is now to demand justice and accountability for your suffering. The Boy Scouts proposes a victim compensation trust to pay damages to the victims of the thousands of adult child abusers they turned a blind eye to. If you do not currently have an attorney, you need to call now for a free confidential consultation about your case. 800-449-3087. Don't wait. The time to act is now. There is no statute of limitations for when the abuse happened, but survivors be aware, when the money is gone, so is your chance for financial compensation. If you were a victim of child sexual abuse while in the Boy Scouts, make the confidential call now. If you don't win, you pay nothing.
800-449-3087. That's 800-449-3087.
A scary good matchup on Halloween night. As the Buckeyes creep into Happy Valley under a full moon. Get ready for chills. On Saturday night football.
It is going to be eerily silent inside Beaver Stadium. Only friends and family allowed from Penn State for this one. Not going to be the whiteout conditions we're used to. Buckeyes have won 3 straight over the Nittany Lions tomorrow night. Justin Fields and this Buckeyes offense, will they continue where they left off in week 1?
Everyone was waiting to see Ohio State get back on the field because they want to see Justin Fields and how he's going to do. Maybe the second best quarterback in college football when it comes to the NFL draft. And he looked as good as advertised. Looked like he took off where he left off last season. Watch the athleticism. Get outside the pocket. Going against a team like Penn State, he's going to have to use his feet to get outside the pocket. Watch the arm strength. This ball jumps out of his hands. Hit Chris Olave on the sideline in stride, on the money. That's what a guy like Justin Fields brings to the table, is that athleticism and the ability to keep his eyes downfield. Linebackers, safeties, you cannot have your eyes in the backfield, because watch this arm strength. Garrett Wilson runs the post. No one's back there. Look at the location of this pass. Perfect throw, middle of the field, in stride, long touchdown. He also led the team in rushing. I don't know that's what the plan is for Ohio State moving forward, but because he's such a good athlete, he has his eyes downfield. But once he decides to tuck it and run, he's as good as anyone in the open field. Couple defenders with their chance to stop him from getting in the end zone. Not a chance to stop Chris Fields from getting this ball in the end zone.
So Penn State's got to try to slow him down defensively. Good news is they have an outstanding pass rush. It starts with Shaka Toney, 252 pounds, quick twitch, great explosive first step, and he can bend. Gets to the quarterback in 2.3 seconds. Offenses try to double team him. Indiana here using a lineman and a tight end. And then up top, you got the opposite defensive end. That's Jason Oweh. 250 pounds, runs a 4.40 against the guard one-on-one. Bad matchup, collapses the pocket, forces an errant throw and incompletion. On this play, you got the lineman and the running back chipping on Shaka Toney. So Michael Penix Jr., he's not focused at all on the blitzing DB coming off the slot and getting
said we should have scored more.
Stop the run.
Offensive line is our Achilles heel.
Because you know Justin Fields will hold on to it.
And with the condensed schedule, it is not hyperbole to say Penn State season's on the line.
No doubt.
He might hurt.